So there was another article this weekend in the New York Times about the attack on DEI, which in this case, some people are calling an attack on America. And as someone who's working full time, all the time in DEI and leadership with a whole bunch of companies, I've been getting the question from people, are you worried? And my response is not at all. And I think we need to reframe how we're looking at thinking about talking about this debate, because of course, any attack on something we hold near and dear and see as fundamentally valuable can feel like an issue. But there are a couple opportunities I'm seeing coming out of this conversation, in addition to the fact that at least we're having a conversation. The first is that this conversation is forcing us to strip back our definitions of DEI, and which in a lot of cases, I think are misguided notions of how we're supposed to approach this work, because it's not just about race and it's not just about hiring, or in the case of universities, college admissions. At its core, thinking about and doing something about diversity, equity, and inclusion in our organizations, in our world, is about building environments where everybody thrives, where everybody feels welcome, where everybody feels safe, where everybody is enabled and empowered to do their best work. And I don't really see how anyone can argue with that. And so this conversation is forcing us to move away from these very narrow and, in my opinion, shallow definitions of DEI and embrace something much more critical and fundamental and holistic. Second, along with that, it's forcing us to be more innovative and creative in how we do this work. And innovation and creativity and new ideas are exactly what we need. For many companies and organizations, it's been 3 years or slightly more since they started these initiatives. Some people are disappointed, some people are exhausted, some people are bored, and it's time to mix it up, and it's time to use the research and the data and everything we know in a post-pandemic world to do things differently. It's time for a V2. And I'm glad that this conversation is taking many people to that realization. Third, this is an incredibly huge opportunity for leaders. It's an opportunity for leaders to stand up for something that they know is important, not just for them and for their companies and their people, but also to stand out from the leaders who are hiding, who are not leaning into the work, who are waiting and seeing. Because the leaders who are able and willing to take a stand and to take action for something that is so clearly important and valuable to so many people, that's leadership. That's an opportunity. And the last thing I'll say today is that, yes, there may be more laws, there may be more legislation, there may be more pushback, but none of this legislation is going to change the fundamentals that this country is rapidly diversifying. That's Gen Z, who are now coming into the workplace, are demanding we do better and be better about this. And that having diverse and inclusive teams where all ideas and perspectives are taken into account and acted upon is going to be increasingly critical for any business. And if you're not connected to your customers and your clients, who are, by the way, part of that diversifying demographic, you're going to have a really hard time attracting talent, but also getting and keeping clients. So I'm not concerned. And for anybody who's feeling down or worried or confused about this debate, I encourage you to reach out to me, to reach out to anyone else who is doing this work and who can equip you with the ideas, with the reassurance, and with the data points that DEI is not going away anytime soon. May have different names, may have a different look and feel, but this fundamental mission to make our workplaces better, more inclusive, and more impactful, it's not going away.